Alright, welcome back. We're in the process of recruiting people for Alphinaud's little project. We have to meet him at the Royal Promenade here in Ulda. There he is. Ulda, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Asuka. Yeah. Alright. We can go downstairs. This carpet must be a pain in the ass to clean. Oh, Sister Orson. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I'm Orson of the Church of Saint Adamalandama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on Drybone's less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion, Thancred, was it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. That's fair. Somebody over in the Weavers Guild? Yellow Moon. I'm sorry? You wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you are wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Alright. Bit of a misunderstanding there. Landibert. Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the streets say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Syndicate? A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Okay, fair. The other person seems pretty far away. We're gonna... Where is it? Right here. I'm gonna use this. Wilred. Huh? Wait, you're the lady who come to Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't. I'd probably be dead. And a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, That disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself a more worldly man. So here I am, a new company of champions, and you say it'll take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I know is out there. Cool. Let's go back to Alphinaud. How fared you, Asuka? What hidden gems did the streets of Ulda offer up to your unrelenting gaze? One dude. A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Asuka. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my child company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company's had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust, one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea. Ooh.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alphinaud's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience. Since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ulda is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
How dare you show me a crying Lalafell game? Yeah. Hi, Tataru. What you doing? Pointing at stuff? That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Asuka. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. And this quest, heretical harassment. Greetings, Asuka. Alphinaud tells me that all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphinaud to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slafborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak to him and see if there is aught he requires? Sure. I will see if there is aught he requires. Hey, Slathborn. What can I do for you, Asuka? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. You need help? Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slathborn, the shipment! We couldn't... Gods, woman, what befell? We... we were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Fortemps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Asuka, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortemps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I can contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Yep, I can go play in the snow. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Horchefant will be glad of your assistance. Let's go to Camp Dragonhead then. At least I'm wearing sleeves this time. Well, well. If it isn't my fine friend, Asuka Hassenpfeffer. Would you care for a plate of roast caracole? Some mulled wine? No? I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. 'Tisn't. When the cold sets in.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest.
We finally get to hear this blue-haired angel's voice.
Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortemps does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Yes.
Hallone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Thanks. Let's go investigate these heretics. On my egg that shoots out a baby chocobo. Don't mind me, I'm just taking my egg upstairs. Asuka, welcome, welcome. You will be pleased to know that the repairs to Stone Vigil proceed apace. We shall rebuild sure and strong that the Dravanians might batter themselves senseless against our shield in the west. I would venture, however, that matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? By the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabout have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims? As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. A patrol found and the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Alright. I will go talk to this man. You? Upstairs then, I see. There you are. Mistreated merchant. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly blackhearts. I was travelling my usual route to Whitebrim Front, when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo, arms, armor, crystals. They were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze, and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. That's fair. You shouldn't have to. You're not a soldier. I'm just gonna go to Snowcloak on my own dragon and see for myself. Uh-oh. Dead folk. Gah! Draw your weapon, foul! Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are come-seeking heretics? Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like icy wraiths. Vanished, you say? Wherever could they have gone? Who is that? You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself, come to sneer at our folly? Where do you go away, Croc? You're in my cutscene. And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whitebrook Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Villemont. Yep, we can do that. On my flying chair. I'm gonna go in through the roof. Asuka, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail of their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Horchefont of your discoveries. He would wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. True. I'm just gonna teleport to Dragonhead. And try not to sneeze.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
She's got white hair.
Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Cool. I'll go back to Revenant's Toll then. Hello, Slaffborn. Asuka, 'tis good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthus? House Fortemps is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Morchepont for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphinaud's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. And this quest. Brave new companions. While you were away in Kurthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Okay. I'm coming to help you, Tataru. What can I help you with? Oh. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Ooh, I am sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Ah, Asuka, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them down. These recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You want to report back directly to Alphinaud if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. I do suppose you're right. Let's go hand out 8 uniforms. Anyone in here? No. Yu Hase. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself 'tis an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Here have a uniform. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Oh, you're from Ulda. You're up there on the wall. Laurentius, you bastard. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Put on your uniform and go to work. Ah, our new uniforms. I am reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. I am reminded of the induction of my foot into your face. Ergmus. This scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hearty defender of Limsa. Yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe would certainly not lack for colour. No, I suppose it shan't. Ilberd. That's some spiky armor. I don't believe we've met. I am Ilberd, and I have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Here's a uniform, Ilberd. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. I see a marker somewhere. Where are you? FME. Asuka Hassenpfeffer? Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. 'Tis an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. I forgot you were from Redania. Wilrid. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. That this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Put on some clothes. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Sure you will. Can I... Yeah. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was you? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry though, I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. You, Mikote girl, are you one of my recruits? Probably not. Alian. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forward. Uniform. Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. You'll be fine. The Warrior of Light. Delivery driver. Hi, Tataru. I passed out the uniforms. Yes, Asuka? Ah, Tataru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the call to arms I put forth to the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Asuka. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement. Cool.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphinaud. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Infilia.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation?
It looks like I'm getting lag.
I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
No.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelind's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Oh, why is it gotta lag now? Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that the shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Really not appreciating the lag. The Elf Pope has visitors of an Asian nature. So, here is where we're gonna start the first of the bits of side content that need to be done in order to actually get all of the what do you call it? The story. We're gonna do the Crystal Tower raid series because it introduces some characters that are important later in the story. Assuming. Okay, looks like the lag worked itself out, so we can get right into it instead of having to deal with that. So, what I'm assuming is going on. Oh, no, more lag. Is that, the recent maintenance, they introduced data center travel to where instead of being able to just go visit other servers, people can visit, like, entire other groups of servers. And so many people did it all at once that it broke for a day. And now it's supposed to be back up, and I think just everyone's logging on to get their characters back to their home worlds. This happened just before I started recording too, but it worked itself out. Yeah, this is not. Alright, we're just gonna call this one a little bit early. Just because it's. I mean, if we're dealing with lag like that, it's basically not playable right now. So. Oh well, we'll come back to it.